What's happening, everybody? Gate 7 International is coming to you guys live just after all of the matches in the Super League have finished, or at the very least, Ike and Paok. Olympiacos get a huge win today, and with Paok winning against Ike, it has presented us with a very unique opportunity. We're going to talk about all of that later. Costa, how are you doing, buddy?
Ari, I'm all good. Always great to see you. It's been a while since we did a show together. Really happy to be here. Really happy to be doing an early show today. And where's my mind right now? My mind is on Thursday at Birmingham. And then my mind is going to travel back to Piraeus for Karaiskakis for the match that I'm personally living, eating, and breathing and sleeping for, Aston Villa versus Olympiacos, and the other way around.
Absolutely. And we're going to jump into that in just a moment. For everyone that's just coming in, just starting to tune in, take a quick second, like and subscribe. I see about 9 likes so far, and there's almost 40 people in already getting started. So hit that like button. If you're tuning in on X or Twitter, however you call it, consider joining us on YouTube. Consider subscribing. You can get notifications every time we go live. You can get reminders of things that are going on, and you can interact with us a little bit more easily. So consider doing that if you are on X. And additionally, you can support us on Patreon. There's 3 different tiers. Starting for $1 a month, you can join the WhatsApp group, there's a whole bunch of craziness, as always, that goes on with the WhatsApp group, but it's a hell of a lot of fun, I got to tell you. So check it out. You can join us there. There's also extra content you can get. There's even a merchandise tier as well. So think about supporting us on Patreon. Everything that you do, thank you to all of our patrons that we have so far. Thank you guys, because everything you do helps us continue to make this experience even better for everybody. And then, of course, we talked about merch. The merch store is live or alive. Sorry for my bad spell.
Both. Live and alive, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live and alive.
You can check out the merch store on our site at gate7international.com. You just go to the merch shop section, and then you can see everything that's available. You've been seeing there's a giveaway still on Instagram. We'll be closing that soon. There are 2 things right now that are being given away. The first is it's called a color block jacket, which has the Gate 7 International logo embroidered on the front. It's the black gray with the red lining on the outside. So very nice jacket. I was wearing it yesterday. There's some pictures that'll come up that you guys will see. It's a very, very comfortable jacket. There's also a hat that we're giving away as well. So the first draw will get the jacket. Second draw will get the hats. We've got 2 giveaways coming out for that. If you have any other questions, you can always message us on social media. There's international shipping. We've already had a lot of people coming in, questions about orders. Virtually every payment method's accepted. And of course, if you have any issues with your order, you can contact us and we'll work that out as well. So help us paint the world red and white, guys. Anything you get, share it with us. We'll put you on our stories. We'll put you on social media to share the love. We love seeing you guys everywhere representing us and supporting us. So if you get anything, help us paint the world red and white. Take a picture wherever you are so we can prove to everyone that this community, not just the Gate 7 International community, but the Olympiacos community is global. So help us paint the world red and white. Check out merch. And thank you guys for being a part of this. We're excited to do even more. Now, Costa.
I heard some rumors, Ari. And I
Yes.
thought I wanted to ask you, and I thought it'd be very fair to ask you in front of our wonderful audience around Gate 7 International, and wonderful audience, of course, where we have just made it. We just made it to 4,000 subscribers, have we not?
That's right. Yes, I completely forgot. About that.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I mean, this has been an amazing adventure, an amazing road, and we were so honored to have every last one of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping us make this, make this amazing initiative, come alive and travel worldwide to every single continent around the world, bar Antarctica. As far as we know, there's no one watching us from Antarctica, but if there is, then thank you so much for joining us. And over 100 countries worldwide. And I felt like, we should give them a gift today by giving them a bit of hot goss. I heard that you were in One Nation capital the other day, and you were not alone.
That is correct, everybody, and you'll see the photos, you'll see the stuff coming out. But our co-host Costa Lavoyani was with myself and Lambro. We were in Washington D.C. last night. So the pictures that you saw on Instagram, on social media, celebrating 4,000, that was us in Washington D.C. You can see the Capitol in between. That was Costa and Lambro wearing the sweaters. So yeah, it was really cool. That was actually the first time that I met Costa in person. I met you in person the summer before last, because we all went to the Yanina game together with it was Lambro, Marcial, you, myself, and then everyone that we met at the stadium. But I had not met Costa yet. So now that he was in DC, I got a chance to meet him. We had dinner. It was fantastic. It was a great time.
I need something from the comments section. Everyone who's seen that photo, can we put that photo up of Lambro and Costa?
I would have
with
to
the merge.
Put it into here. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. Only if you can. I want the comment section to give us the perfect boy band headline, perfect boy band title for this photo of Costa and Lambro just wandering around, just looking at it, just looking ahead, just being calm with their Gate 7 international jackets. I want you guys to give me the best album title for this boy band right there. If we can put it up, I want the comment section to give me the best boy band album title for that photo you're about to see.
It'll probably take me a couple minutes to get it done, but
only if we can.
If I can get it up there at some point. Oh, Costa, I think it is official. I think Olympiacos officially lost.
Oh, okay. Is it official?
I
good.
don't see.
Murzanos is saying full time. Murzanos is saying full time.
I have the match tracker. It says full time. So they officially lost, which means, we win our game in hand. We're in second place.
So, hey, Ari, you know what else that means? It means we cannot finish fucking fourth. We can't finish fourth. That's what it means.
Yep. So this is huge, guys. This is huge. It's our destiny is in our hands now. You know what I mean? We've been talking so far. We need somebody to lose here. We have to win this. Our destiny is completely in our hands. We win all 3 matches. We win the title. Period. Beat Paok, beat AEK, beat Panathinaikos, we win the title. Now, that's not an easy task. We're talking about 3 derbies, and it's not like we've been the best with our derbies this season. So it's a big ask, but our destiny is in our hands here. One game at a time. Aston Villa, well, let's deal with Aston Villa first. We'll come to that after. But we do one game at a time. And we're at a place that we never thought we'd be back in January. Incredible stuff, Costa. This is incredible.
Well, it's what Costa with a C said last season after we mathematically lost the title. And it's like he hit the nail right in the head. And I told him on WhatsApp, and I think I said it on the show last week. I mentioned it last week after the Aris game that Costa, he used an example that I wish he had, and I wish he had used something a little deeper. I wish he had used William Shakespeare. I wish he used Ernest Hemingway. I wish he used Plato, but instead he used DC fucking Comics. So he said what the situation was with us last season was like that Dark Knight Rises scene where they were all thrown into that pit by Bane, and they had that rope which was practically impossible to use to go up, but they just had it there. Like, it's the hope that kills you. And it really feels like we're back to that this season. Like, I really struggle. I think we can win all of our 3 derbies coming up. All of our 3 matches are coming up, 2 of which are away from home, by the way. Last one at Leoforos. I mean, what a story that would be if we won the title at Leoforos, in the Lions Den of our most hated rivals in the world. But it really feels like, I still feel like we're in that pit right now. Like, I don't feel like this is the time for us to to climb off it. So I still feel like we are in this terrible metaphor by Costa Levoyani right now. We are in there. The dark night is not going to rise yet, but you never know. Costa Levoyani, by the way, speaking of Costa Levoyani, who's still not here with us, he really believes we're going to do something in Europe. He really believes we're going to do a thing there.
He does. He's feeling confident, but you know what? It's not just him. There's a lot of people that have an air of confidence about them because of everything that's going on. The team. Just when we'll get gut punched, and just when we think we're done, the team is back doing it again. You know what I mean? Just when we think things are down, it comes back, and then something like this happens, and it makes everything seem like it's possible again. So, I mean, look, we can get Costa and even Lambro's opinion in a second because they just joined us here. What's going on, boys?
What's going on? Is there an echo?
Boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. Boys are back in town.
How is everyone doing? We've got the Knicks Philly game. Costa's here in beautiful Washington, D.C. I don't know if this is the first episode we've done since the Maccabi Tel Aviv. I'm getting flashbacks to when I was in my hot apartment on a July night in Brussels, the fucking rooftop apartments. Those of you who know, where it's so hot all summer. It was like 40 degrees Celsius in that apartment. And we lost 4-0 to Maccabi Tel Aviv. It's, again, very hot here in DC, but we have air conditioning. We have a TV. We're watching the Knicks versus the Sixers. We watched Ike Paok. What a game.
What a game.
Olympiacos as well. Yeah, we still have a chance. There's still a chance. So that's our first take.
Costa, are we back in the pit?
I'll be back in the pit. Yeah, man. Bruce Wayne's climbing and he's just about to make that leap. I swear.
Can we get a better analogy this season? Can we use a bit of literature this time and not like DC fucking comics? Can we come up with something a little more poetic?
You don't like my Batman analogy from last year?
I like that you hit the nail right in the head. I love that you hit the nail right in the head, but I wish we could have used something a little deeper.
Yeah, this is the scenario. We're going to go to Villa on Thursday. We're going to lose. We're going to lose like 2-1 or 3-1. We're going to go back to Karaiskaki Failure the week after. We're going to win. And we're going to get to the final of the Conference League. And then the Greek government and EPO are going to call UEFA and say, I'm sorry, guys, we can't guarantee the safety of the fans. Let's take the game to Volos and play it without any fans. That's what's going to happen.
Imagine
no digital ticketing system, no cameras.
UEFA's
going to be grand and bring it all in.
Beos, don't worry, we'll pay for the cameras, right, File. We have 500,000 euros for you.
Dodoridis will solve all the problems for Beos. We will pay for your cameras, and then the Greek Cup final can take place. What a story that will be! And then, of course, okay, when we through to the final, we'll play Paok on Sunday in Thessaloniki. We'll beat them, then we'll beat AEK, and we'll beat Panathinaikos in Leoforos, and we'll win the championship. And we'll win the Conference League. There, I said it. Stidrella.
Guys, do you have any weed left over there? Or did you just smoke it all?
No, I haven't smoked anything, man.
But
just
it smells like weed everywhere here in Washington D.C. So especially when Costa told me he came from Brussels, which is not really like it's not like Febreze is sprayed around that city. Like it's not really the freshest smells in the world, but yeah. They don't have like those scented candles around like the city streets in Brussels either. So I don't know.
If you think we're under the influence, like the closest you can say is we've had a Bloody Mary for like a brunch, but that was about it.
Yeah, a Bloody Mary. I had coffee.
Nice. Love that.
Anyway, should we be serious now?
Okay. Someone mentioned in the comments. Do you guys see how Maeda go crazy at the end of the Ike game? Like,
yeah,
he like was punching people and like throwing people. What
happened? Tell us what happened. I missed that. I didn't see that.
Literally, so the game ends, and he was just fighting. He was throwing his own players. Vieirinha came and like was like, calm down, and he just shoved Vieirinha. It was like it didn't matter if it was an Ike player, Paok player. I don't know. Someone must have said something to him. I don't understand what happened. So.
Was he
depending-
choking somebody? It looked like he was choking somebody at one
Yeah,
point.
he grabbed someone by the neck.
I have no idea what happened, like, but he was pissed. And then, yeah, who knows?
A gentleman.
Also, some guy is asking in the chat if he can join the call. Are we opening the lines today? I don't know who that is either.
I don't care, but Costa
Maybe.
Costa was asking about this picture right here. If anybody had a boy band cover for it.
A boy
a
band
good one.
album cover name for this, guys.
album
Your
cover
favorite
name.
album cover name for this boy band right there, guys.
That's the team.
I think the
Comment section.
album title should be "We're Coming, Hagia Sophia."
Oh, Paparina. But I was telling
Madison
telling
Square
Costa,
Garden, here we come.
I went to Opap Arena in the summer when they played Antwerp, and I don't know, have you guys been? Costa, maybe you've been, but like the metro is like a 15-minute walk from the stadium. They don't have sidewalks. It's like you walk in the middle of the road to get to the stadium. It's tight streets, so I don't know. Of course, I don't go very often, but my one time going there, and now that we're 2 games away of playing a final there, how would they even do the security if we go to the cup final? Like, I don't know if it's possible for 10,000 Olympiacos fans to go to Philadelphia. Like, I'm being serious though. Like, I think they have a real problem.
I agree with you. I visited the stadium when it wasn't open. It was still technically under construction, and it was a disaster over there. And I remember telling my wife the same thing. I was like, I have no idea how this is going to work for like major games. Like this just looks like it's poorly planned. And
It makes sense if you have like a small away fan section. You know, it's like you can bus people in. They have a separate entrance, blah, blah, blah. But we're talking like 10,000 fans for each side. And then you have the ice fans because this is like their neighborhood. It's a logistical nightmare beyond belief. Like, I don't know. They can't even organize a cup final, but they're going to organize this if Olympiacos goes through. It's like,
it's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you how it's going to happen because I haven't been there since construction was finished. So like my frame of reference situation is even worse than what it is now. I just like keep thinking about what I saw then. It was ridiculous.
I went and they had like the one square with the big eagle.
Right. That was there.
And there's like a roadway going up. And that's like as wide as it gets. Like other than that, there's like houses on the sides, you know, like there's houses and apartment blocks, and it's just you have a weird park you have to walk through. Like, thumbs up. There's a weird park you have to walk through to get there. It's like a logistical nightmare. I don't know how it's gonna work.
They
lost.
They
lost 1-0.
Yes,
Yep.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Which basically this just comes to show how important it is that we don't finish 4th, by the way. But when it comes to Hagia Sophia, I found it quite easy, all of it. I went for the Brighton game. It was quite easy. Everything was straightforward. As a journalist, of course, I went there. I didn't go as a fan. I found everything very, very straightforward.
Did you take metro? How did you go?
Oh, I took a cab, really.
Okay, because metro, the thing with the metro is like you have to walk 15 minutes. It's not like, you know, you get out of metro and you're like in the stadium, you know. It's like it's like a hike, you know. So I don't know how that would work.
What's the station? It's not the Irini. What's the station that you have to get out? And it's not even the metro. It's the train, Olympiacos, not the metro.
No, dude, it's the metro because you get off at Monastiraki if you're taking what is it? The line that goes from the airport to Piraeus, and then you go to Monastiraki, and then you go up
towards Kifisia.
Yeah. So
anywho, sorry,
this is another.
I found everything quite straightforward. I took a cab, and then with the stadium, found everything quite straightforward from then on.
Yeah, but it's just there's so many little bombs around if it happens. But anyway, that's far away. What do you guys think? Like Olympiacos, if we go 3 for 3, we win the title.
Yeah,
is it going to happen? Man. Very unlikely. But Mendilibar can say to his players, 3 games left, the title is in your hands. Do you want it? And I don't know. I know,
And that's after the Villa games. That's after the Villa
That's
games.
after the
Like, we're
Villa
going to be
game.
done with Villa, and then, which, it's unlikely we make the final. If we make the final, it's going to be, and that's a big if. It's going to be a bit of a logistical nightmare from then on with the fixtures, because then I guess there might be more postponements. Or no, the final is after the the last league. Yeah.
but
So
I
no more
can't.
postponements.
I know you guys have probably touched upon it, but like this game against Aris, we drop points in. Like, you know what I mean?
Dagger.
We would be in such a good position, not even for the title, but for securing Europe if we just did not drop points, especially now with Panathinaikos losing, which is just devastating. It's just like, fuck, man, that game.
We'd be in second place right now.
I hope we don't look back and think like, fuck, if we hadn't messed up that game, we would have won a title or we would have secured Europe. So
I
don't think we'd
it'd
be looking at the Aris game. There's so many other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So many other. It would be very unfair to pin it on Mendilibar's team, because like this season has been it has been so turbulent and so dramatic that, I mean, I personally cannot even think about the first. I cannot even start thinking the first match that we need to look back at. Like, this season has been insane.
Yeah.
It's just
We
that
should
one-
address
that
this
one
question in
plays it.
case people don't understand. If fourth place in the league will not give Europe if Aris wins the Greek Cup.
and they just showed they can win. They just
Yeah.
won.
Exactly.
They just beat
Exactly.
Panathinaikos,
So
man.
important.
Like, yeah.
So important we don't finish fourth.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow the Greek league and you don't know the situation, AEK is in fifth place and they have no hope of hitting fourth, but they're in the final against Panathinaikos. So the cup final winner gets a qualification spot in the Europa League. So if the cup final winner is not in the top four, he takes away a European spot from one of those teams. So you do not want to be in fourth place in Greece right now, because if Aris, who already proved they can beat Panathinaikos and they're willing to do it, if they win, they take a European spot away, which means the fourth place team does not get any European football. Now, remember, this year's or this coming season, our European places are based off what Greek teams did last year and the previous 4 years before that. So this year, after we finish, because the Greek coefficient is so high, if Olympiacos gets to the finals, Greece will be in the 15th spot for the coefficient. And then we would get 5 teams for the following season in Europe. 2 Champions League, 1 Europa League, or potentially 2 Europa League, and a Conference League. So that's the outlook as it is right now. But right now, next year, there's 1 Champions League spot for first place. The rest are conference, except for the cup winner.
Does
So
anyone know what
it's-
stage of conference we start? Does anyone know that as well?
What do you mean?
Like, do we have to qualify from like the 3rd round, the 4th round? Or...
I
Depends
think
when you
that
finish.
depends. I think that depends. Yeah, where we finish, and also what happens with other leagues as well. Still, like other leagues
Yeah.
running around and see if it's the 3rd or 2nd or playoffs.
Yeah.
I think fourth. I think 4th, 3rd, and 2nd are looking at something around 3rd and 2nd. 3rd and 2nd.
Right.
But
qualifier,
not
my
like
opinion.
4th place doesn't mean we start in the 1st round of quality, does it?
No,
that would
it's
be
like-
terrible.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Probably 2nd to 3rd kind of
Okay.
thing.
So
Well, guys, what do you think? Like, what we're going into it? What are you guys feeling? How do you feel?
if we're pooling what we saw from the game today and looking at like the things that we did, especially first half, second half, and using that to define how the rest of the playoffs can go, or even Aston Villa, we have a serious efficiency problem in the final third. First half especially. Like, the game was 4-1. It should have been probably 6-1 or 7-1. We missed, again, way too many really, really good opportunities. We are so careless in the final third. We make really bad decisions. And our key to success, as it has been in Europe, is not our buildup and it's not our possession. It is our pressing and our counter from the press. We are wholly reliant on the I guess you can call them press traps that Mendilibar creates through the front line and the wing press. And if Jose and Chiquinho are not at 100%, especially against a team like Villa, we're going to suffer because I was going through our
Wait,
matches.
say again, who's at 100%?
Heza and Chiquinho.
Jose
Are they
and
hurt?
Coutinho.
Are they hurt? What?
No, I'm saying if they're
Oh.
not at 100%, like playing, like
Oh,
they're not
okay.
playing like amazing. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like if either one of them has an off day, the whole scheme is fucked because they are so important in this pressing scheme. If you see every game we play, right, you have the front line that's balls to the walls, El Kabi, Masuras if he's playing, our wing backs getting up. And the whole reason is because we're trying to force the ball to be played more central, where Jose and Chiquinho are the ones picking up the second ball to intercept it. That's why both of them together lead the team in interceptions in Europe for us all the time. But if those two cannot get a handle on that and they're not able to be picking those off, then our game plan is screwed. Our buildup is really bad. Our buildup in Europe has been terrible. You look at the game against Ferencvaros, you look at the game against Maccabi, especially first leg, and Fenerbahce. How many big scoring chances do you think we made off of buildup? Not something that came off of the press or a counter. How many big scoring chances have we made in buildup?
You can't fix that in a few months, man. But
exactly. No, you can't. But you're 100% right. But my point is, we don't have like a outside of Greece, I should say. We don't have even in Greece against the better teams, we don't have a fantastic build-up philosophy, right? You can't ask Mendilibar to do that in 60 days with a team that he didn't pick, with players he's just trying to find band-aid solutions for. So what's the only way that we can do something about these fixtures? The only thing we can do is press, strangle the other team's possession. That's the only thing we can do.
That's
So
interesting. Sorry, Ari.
Yeah,
He's watching this Knicks Sixers game. It's on the TV right now. Oh, Kyle Lowry for 3. He missed.
But that's
one.
it. Like you can't expect to do anything else because our possession is not good. So we have to rely on this. And even in the playoffs, we're like, okay, Ike and Paok and Olympiacos are not Villa. They're not even Fenerbahce. But still, these are teams that have at least been together a little bit longer and have their shit together a little bit better than we do. So we have to be much better in build-up. We have to be a little bit more clinical and more efficient for us to do anything, especially against a team like Aston Villa. Forget about it. We can't make the mistakes we did against Fenerbahce.
But I think that's just something in general that we have to keep in mind as we close out the season. Like for sure, the efficiency issue's been something haunting us all season, and it's actually incredible that we have this debate about El Kabi all season, and he scored 30 goals, and we still kind of bitch and moan about him. And you look at Paok playing with Ali Samata or Brandon Thomas, and you think, oh my god. But anyway, I'm digressing. I think the way that we play is actually good going into the Villa game, because I don't expect to go into games against Villa to dominate possession and build up from the back. I think, Gosla, you watch more Premier League probably than all of us, but Villa's a team that's really good on the counter-attack. Like they can get the ball up to Ollie Watkins in 2-3 passes, not even 3. They'll just get the ball out to Dino or Matty Cash or Douglas
Luiz. Bravo, Costa.
Douglas Luiz, ball over the top into Watkins, and then Watkins is strong, he's powerful, he's fast, like he's good at finishing. And that's all they need. Like I think from what I've seen of Villa this season in general, they like playing on the counter-attack. They like giving the ball to the opposition. So that's something interesting to know ahead of Thursday's game. Because exactly what you said, Ari, we've been good on counter press and press, but I feel like on pure counter-attacks as well, so when we get the ball down the left-hand side and you get those nice little combinations between Padence and Horta, like we saw the goal against was that nice goal that was it Padence scored the other? No, Gelson Martins. That nice goal that Gelson Martins scored the other week after a nice play with those two.
Against Ari.
Yeah. You're right.
That was El Cabis goal. That was El
No,
Cabis.
no,
He
no.
got it on the goal
Martin's
line.
goal versus Paok at home with Potenza the assist that played him through and he toe pokes it in.
Yeah, bravo.
Okay.
No, bravo. So like I think like that style of play suits us for these games that are coming up. It is just all about efficiency and putting those opportunities away. As it was against Fener at home, let's be real as well. Like we created 3, 4, 5 max opportunities in the game against Fener when we won 3-2 and we put 3 away, and the rest is history. And that's like you have to do that in those big games. You have to be clinical. You have to take your chances, and you're playing against like superior opposition. So I don't know. I've said it to other people as well, and I'll say it here. Like there's something in the stars for me this season with this coach as well. And maybe I'm just being too romantic and I'm on a good vibe right now, but that's how I feel like going into these games. So far I've been pretty good in my intuition. Let's say I said 3-2 for the first game against Fener. I said 3-2. I didn't disclose whether it was full time or penalties, but I said 3-2. Anyway, let's see.
Well,
let's see. I'm not like crazy optimistic, but like I'm definitely hopeful. That the team's given us that certainly over the last 2 months. After another roller coaster season, which I can't wait to review at the end. By the way,
I love your optimism. I love your confidence. I really, really do. Your predictions have been amazing, Costa with a C. I am not hopeful about this, guys. Villa have been really good this season. It's great that Jose Luis Mendilibar knows Unai Emery very well, both of them Basque managers. But the problem is, Emery also knows Mendilibar very well. You have been absolutely right about everything you just said about Villa, Costa. The thing is, Emery likes to play mostly in a defensive kind of way. He likes to play more in a defending kind of way. He prefers defense, which is why he likes his counterattacks. He has 2 great center backs in Ezri Konsa and Pau Torres, who are very good with the ball in their legs, with the ball on their feet, which allows them to move the ball forward and play out the back. Douglas Luiz so good in connecting defense with midfield. Very dangerous with the combination between Luca Dean and Douglas Luiz and Oli Watkins. Those are the 2 guys that mostly get the ball to Watkins, who's having the season of his life as the second top goal scorer from Britain in the Premier League right now, behind Cole Palmer, who's half of his goals though are penalties, whereas Watkins hasn't scored a penalty. They are also very good on the high press. It is very strong. They're leaving very little room. They force mistakes at the back. They force the defenders to clear the ball, which is what we're already doing pretty much against superior or evenly matched opponents. They're also very good on catching counterattacks with the offside trap, which is something we seriously struggled in Constantinople against Fenerbahce. We were constantly caught offside. Konsa is very good at one-on-one, and he's also very good in keeping the line and catching opposition from offside positions. Emi Martinez helps a lot with the defensive work, but I'm not too sure we're going to see Martinez at Karaiskaki. We're definitely not seeing him in the first leg because he's suspended. He picked up what looked like a hamstring injury. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on sports science, but it did not look great. We don't know if we're going to see him at Karaiskaki. Tielemans got injured as well. Not sure we're going to see him. It's quite an injury list, boys and girls. We're talking Abubakar Kamara. We're talking Tyrone Mings. We're talking Jacob Ramsey. We're talking Alex Moreno, Nicolo Zaniolo, and now Tielemans and Martinez. But still, guys, I mean, this is a great group of players. Emery has been doing a great job over there. They are technically the 4th best team in England. And I'm closing with this. I was hoping the top 4 pressure would get to that inexperienced side by now. But after Tottenham's loss today against Arsenal, the fact that Tottenham have a horrible run of fixtures against Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea, who proved they can still cause damage against Aston Villa the other day, Villa's run of fixtures is a lot easier. I am afraid they're not going to be feeling too much pressure when it comes to the top 4 race, knowing that 5th place doesn't lead to Europe. They don't care. They like their chance of finishing 4th.
But I think my question is, I think on Thursday they're going to go to finish the tie. Like they're going to try to win by a bit. Like, does that make sense to you guys? Like, I think they're going to try to finish this thing and be like, okay, we need to and then we can resume focus on the league, right? If I was them,
Right.
I would put out a really strong attacking side to try to blow us away under pressure, so that the reverse leg in Greece, they can rest some players even, because Costa's right though. They're going to be playing every 3 days, I believe. They played yesterday, so four or 5 days. Then they play again on the weekends. Then they play again Thursday, and then they play again on the weekends. Like, their fixture list is so tight, and we are so lucky we have sort of that weekend off in between. I really, if I'm Emery though, and I'm not, I'm thinking like, let's blow these guys out at home. Like, let's pack the stadium. Let's go for it. Let's go for like a 3-4-1, something like that, to try to just win the tie. And that's the pressure we're gonna. I'm thinking about how this is gonna go, and I'm really, if he starts that kind of Jovetic El Kabi lineup and leaves our midfields kind of open, you just cannot go there and fucking do that. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna start Ibora? Are we gonna start Horta in the midfield as well?
Jovetic didn't get minutes today, did he? And
he didn't.
He didn't play against Aris either, no?
No, he started, right? No.
Did he play against Aris?
Did he?
I think he played against Aris.
He started.
He did play against Aris, but I don't remember him starting.
I thought he started, and then he brought on Podence for him, and it fucked the shape of the team, in my opinion. But
You might be right. Actually,
he did play against Aris.
And but anyway, I'm more worried about, like, do we have the capabilities to hold them off in this first leg? Because I'm with Costa. Like, I think we could. My fear for Thursday night is we get blown away. You know, like, where it's not returnable.
Yeah.
This team and the talent level, the value level, we just need to keep it close. Like, 1, even 2 goals. Like, 2 goals will be very difficult, but we cannot get blown away there. We got to give ourselves hope coming back to Greece, and the stadium will be on fire. Like, and you want then, and then you start Jovetic, then you start El Kabi, and you fucking go for it. You get an early goal against them, and they're gonna feel like they're playing on a field like this, you know, like cup final, insane atmosphere. So if I'm Mendilibar, I'm trying to think, like, how can I get out of this place alive? How do I get out of there alive and play to the fixtures as well? Like, knowing they're in the thick of it for top 4, and they're going to have to play a strong side again in the weekend. So if I'm him, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what is the best lineup that can, like, you just don't want to get blown away. They have so much talent. They have so many killers. You just need to stay alive. We need to stay alive. Like, we're lucky that we're playing the second leg at home this time, and you know, we got to do it.
Like, guys, we watched the first 15-20 minutes of the game and went out for breakfast, so we didn't watch all of it. But just looking at the way it went today, Chiquinho came out on the 60th minute. Alexandropoulos came in, scored a goal. Andre Horta played almost 90 minutes.
Yep.
My question is, does Andre Horta look fit to play on Thursday? Because we've got to assume that he's going to go away from home with a reinforced midfield. Like, and you know, Mendilibar is probably going to prove me wrong again, and I wouldn't find it surprising if he goes there and plays Jovetic with El Kabi. Yeah, I mean, Jovetic hasn't played today, but like, what did you make of Andre Horta's performance? Do you think he put in a claim to be playing from the beginning on Thursday, or can you see us starting with Ibora, who incidentally wasn't even on the bench today?
Look, my
Ibora, mate, do you know what? Sorry, before you say that, Ibora's starting on Thursday. You need the body. They got some big boys in that team.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, actually. And like, if it were me, my ideal 11 is, first of all, in England, I'm keeping my midfield as compact as possible. I'm keeping it nice and compact. I'm focusing on our counter press strategy. That's our main key to victory. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on anything else. And right now the most condensed our midfield is when it's been Horta playing, Chiquinho, Heze, or I probably would start Iborra as well for somebody. But my problem today, Horta looked good the entire time he was in for me. I thought he was fine. But my issue is I don't understand. We don't have Masuras, right? Next match. We don't he picked up a yellow, didn't he? Or am I
I
missing?
think you're right.
He's suspended. Masura suspended? Are you sure?
Yeah, he picked up a yellow, didn't he? Do you have
Did
too many
someone in the
yellows?
comments confirm that? I don't remember. I thought only Doi was out suspended.
I thought it was Doi and Masuras. I could be wrong, but
Because
anyway.
for me, I was about to say, I'm going to sound like an idiot, but I was like, you can't start Podense and Fortunis. That's my big thing.
Well, but here's my thing. Podense is
suspended. Oh God!
Podense is going to play this game, right? Heze right now. Heze is
was
your
a
most
disaster in
important
Turkey
piece.
defensively. That first goal, or that goal they scored, was he was a disaster. They had to take him off at the 60th minute. He didn't play for like weeks, and he looked like a disaster. I just don't know how you start.
He's in rhythm now, though.
He looks like he's in rhythm now. Maybe he's a rhythm player, but like
He is. But here's the thing,
man.
dude. He's playing, right? And Heze is your most important part of the midfield. You played both of them for 90 minutes today. You played both of them the full game today. Why?
The Catalaveni or Jesse, he doesn't do 22, man. Have you seen his girlfriend? Sorry, I'm maybe going above the line.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I
mean,
was vindicated in my fear when that challenge went in on Heze, and I thought he was like fucking dead. So like that was my concern. Like I just like get him out.
Don't worry. There's not been a moment all season almost. Maybe like at the end of the winter where you're like, oh, he needs a rest, but like.
He plays like this every game, man.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I just panic. I'm like, guys, he doesn't need to be in there. I don't need to see
Adi,
like
for everyone right now, we're saying it's Maccabi Tel Aviv lineup. It's 4-3-3, Podense and Fortunis without Kabi at the top. Is that what we're looking
probably,
at?
That's all you got.
Yeah, I can see that.
What I can say is I'll be shocked if Emery plays 3-4-1 or anything like that, 3-4-2. He's not going to get away from his 4. He's not going to steer away from his 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2 kind of thing that he likes. So, but yeah, I agree with you guys. Midfield needs to be packed. You can't go with 2 midfielders, especially if it's just Eze and Chiquinho. You need Andre Horta in there. I mean, I see what you're saying, Costa, and about Iborra as well. Vicente Iborra, who's enjoying a bit of a revival under Jose Luis Mendilibar, which I really am enjoying this because he's literally the only number 6 we have in this team. But yeah, I mean, guys, we need 3 midfielders in this game. We can't just go with 2.
That's really going to be a nice midfield battle on Thursday. Like Douglas Luiz, Heze, Chiquinho, like they're all like low center of gravity, like small midfielders, good technical ability. It's going to be a nice tussle, man. Who's the other center mid that they have?
Oh man, they've lost so many right now. Kamara is out.
Abubakar is out. You said, yeah.
Abubakar Kamara is injured
when he played for OM. Remember?
Marseille, yeah.
I don't remember that, to be honest with you.
You don't remember? He played for OM. He was their star player for a while, man.
What year? What year was that?
The last time we played them.
When we played them in the Champions League.
Champions League, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we had that guy Muhammad Ali on the show. He was talking about
Muhammad Ali. Yes. But yeah, I mean, well, I mean, obviously, we got to keep an eye on John McGinn, their captain, who is having probably the season of his life right now. But when it comes to like defensive midfielders, I mean, I think Douglas Luiz will play that role.
And then McGinn,
McGinn's a 10. But like they played Moussa Diaby
He's an 8
today when Tielemans came off.
Moussa Diaby,
he's an 8. McGinn is an 8.
Who? McGinn?
McGinn is an 8. But he does play the 8 and 10 at the same time.
He's more offensive, though, isn't he?
More offensive. But that's why Douglas Luiz, I expect him to be more of a 6 kind of guy on this one right now. Tielemans is I don't know Tielemans' situation right now, but if he doesn't play, it is considering Kamara is out. I mean, it's going to be quite the absence.
I quite fancy our chances in midfield. Actually, looking at that, what I'm really scared of is the right wing, Matt Cash and Leon Bailey. down
Yeah.
the right.
And then they have Diaby, the winger, right? The guy who played in Germany, the French guy as well plays for them. Is that correct?
Who?
Diaby, Moussa,
Moussa
it is
Diaby, that's his name,
Moussa
correct?
Diaby. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah.
That guy was
Diaby's really.
class in Germany. Like
Yeah.
that's the guy.
He-
That's not. I don't think he's had the best season in the world. I was reading, but I think one of the things I thought about too, and it's so funny. Yorgos here says it. Richards or Ortega. The second sentence is what I had been thinking. I'd start Richards not only because he's better, but he's English as well. Like, do you want to start Richards out there and be like, look, man, like you've probably played these dudes in the youth league, like from youth England setup. You have something to prove. Go fucking do it. Like, would you? I think he's starting Ortega for sure, but like personally, I kind of
Ortega's starting, but yeah,
I think it would be like
I'd start Richards.
It's like chip on the shoulder, Richards. Like, you think you're good enough for the Premier League? You thought like you don't deserve to be in Greece? Like,
that'd be a nice statement for him. Like,
yeah, be huge.
Absolutely.
That could be huge for him. So I don't know.
he had a role against Fener. Maybe he has a role to play in this game as well.
I think he's going to be so up for this game. I think Ortega will start for sure, but I don't think Richards I think Richards has a role to play probably as well.
Absolutely. It's like Costa said.
He looks more stable. Richards is more stable to me than Ortega is. And like there were some moments in the Lamia game where I was like, man, if Ortega were playing, he'd be so far up the field. This transition would have been like devastating. Richards doesn't get caught. He doesn't get caught forward. And that's my thing. That's what I like.
What was
You know
he
what I
like
mean? As
today?
much as I love
Like,
overlapping fullbacks.
I read some comments that he was a bit shaky today, Richards, and there was some highlight
Mistakes
reels.
like in the first.
There
15
were
minutes.
a couple mistakes, but I still it's his positioning that he did have mistakes today. He did. I'm not saying he had a great game, but his positioning is better for me than Ortega's is because Ortega gets so far forward. Like we talked about the underlapping runs. Costa and I did. Costa C. And the problem is Ortega does that, and we get so exposed, and then he doesn't get back, and that's the problem. I don't see Richards get exposed like that. He has other issues, but I feel better about his positioning overall than I do with Ortega. That's and quite frankly, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Even if we say Richards played bad today, right? Let's say he played bad today. That's less. He had less. I'm gonna bet $100 that he had less mistakes than what Ortega averages in terms of his positional like issues. That's my thing. So like it's one or the other. Right. But there you go. Yodos Mutsanos. Like that's
slight exaggeration, but we get the point.
But this whole thing of like Richards also being English and being part of the English national team setup and like knowing some of these guys and having a point to prove, I think that's like not a joke. I think the guy played for Bayern Munich. He thought he was moving to the Premier League, had the broken leg, and now he could, imagine if Richards gets an assist in Villa Park and like the Daily Mail writes of him, the Sun writes of him. Like that's how someone gets a move to the Premier League or like gets their career back on track. And if anyone knows that, it's probably him. I just think that's a little deep in the weeds on my side. So, and Mendilibar obviously prefers Ortega. So,
but this is a massive game for everyone in the squad with aspirations, man. Like if you're a player like Heze, everyone's like in the vitrina in this game. Everyone wants to go and play in the best league in the world.
And meanwhile, for Villa, like yes, it's a very important game, but they are also in the midst of playing for the Champions League, which would be the first time in like Costa, how many years for Villa to go to the Champions League? Like
first time with the real setup, with the current setup, it's their first time ever. They haven't, but they also haven't won a European Cup since 1982. So there's two sides on that coin.
For sure, but like I don't know. There's like the situation is so weird because I do see a few scenarios where we get freaking blown away, like played off the like some of these are £100 million players. Like this isn't West Ham who rotated slightly and started like who was that clown at strike? Danny Ings at striker and like you know what I mean? They had a decent side and then they threw on Antonio and they're gonna be playing like Ollie Watkins, if someone wanted to buy him on the market now, is it 100 million the price, 90 million? Like,
He's like playing for England now, man.
yeah, this guy is going to go to the
Yeah.
Euros
Yeah.
with England and
Yeah.
be with Harry Kane, whatever.
Almost
Bailey as
definitely,
well. Diaby, I don't even want to know how much they paid the Germans to get Diaby. Lucas Dean plays for the French national team. Like, this is a huge. This is not like West Ham who are like, we've secured first place and they're having a so-so season. They've lost Declan Rice, etc. Like,
They were undefeated for 17 matches though in Europe. West Ham.
no, I understand, but they also kind of like had the group in lock and were rotating. So this is like a team that's playing for a European Cup final with guys who are worth hundreds of millions of pounds a team. So it's just like, this is another level. And I think these are the hardest two games we will play, maybe in like the last 2 seasons. Is this Aston Villa team the best team we've played in the last 2 seasons? I think it probably is, right?
The last 2, you bet your ass. Who was better, Karabag, Freiburg?
I think this is easily these are the two. This team is the best team we've played. Like, maybe even like we can go back and look. Like, this is the best team Olympiacos is going to play.
Is the level of like the Arsenal game that we played years ago?
Yeah,
that kind of level.
But even they are
they're
better
than
than
the
Arsenal.
Arsenal
Like,
we
let's be
beat.
real. The freaking first few months, Mikel Arteta Arsenal with David Luiz and Socrates, who was a little
wasn't that good
like
for
not
the
at his
team.
best. This is a team fucking going to the Champions League, man. This is a freaking good side.
But that needs to be motivation for our players, man. I'll say it again. There are plenty of players in there that are like, their contracts are expiring. They don't know where they're going to be next season. Mate, even if you're Daniel Podence, I'm sorry, like, as much as we're discussing about him and is he going to stay next summer, like, come on, like, I'm sure that deep down inside, Daniel Podence loves Olympiacos. He's connected with the club and all of that. I'm not denying any of that. But deep down inside, like, for him as well, he's got something to prove going into this game. He left from Wolves, he left from the best league in the world to come and play for us on a 1-season loan. And like, he's going to be wanting to show something, a ticket back to the Premier League to prove the doubters wrong. And that's massive. It cannot be understated. The other thing, it just came to me when you said Luca Dean, him versus Rodinei down that wing. That's a matchup to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be an interesting one.
It's there's so many storylines. There's so many ways to take this. It's just like, it's incredible. It's like, what an incredible, just up and down roller coaster this whole freaking season has been. And, you know, as weird as it is to say, like, you go 5 for 5, you win the league, and you are in the final of a European trophy. Like, imagine if you imagine telling Olympiacos fans in January with Carlos Carvajal, Lamia, look, you'll be in the end of April. You win 3 games, you win the league, and you win 2 games, and you're in a European final.
You've been punched in the face.
For me, that's all you have to say. Like, when I think back about this season, how crazy it's been. You told me, tell me when I was in Genk and I concussed myself, never forget. And you told concussed me, Labros, at the end of the season, Olympiacos will be playing 2 games to go to a European final. And if they go 3 for 3 in the league, they will win the league. Are you happy? I'd be like, oh my God, this is the best thing that's ever happened. There's no way. You know what I mean?
There was optimism during those Genk games. When we eliminated Genk, there was optimism ahead of the season.
2 games from a final, and also still, it felt like a huge task for us to compete for the league. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just felt monumental. So literally, it's all in our hands. It's all to play for. Are we going to do it? Unlikely, but that's why we love the sport. That's why we love the club, right? So
we have quite a few people watching, quite a few Villa fans watching us. I'm getting notifications right now. And do correct me if I'm wrong, lads. Olympiacos, no injury concerns, really, right?
The only thing,
not for the European
Masuras out, I guess,
Suspended.
Suspended. The Yoros Masura is suspended, but no one's injured though. So that, contrary to Villa, Olympiacos are at full strength.
You could say that. You could say that, yeah.
Yeah, going in with the same kind of weaknesses that we did in the Fener game as well. Like no Gelson Martinez on the bench because he's not on the list. Don't really have any depth.
We don't
on the
have any
wings.
wingers on the bench as well now with Masouras out.
Masouras gone. There's no depth.
There's
You're
no-
throwing like Alexandropoulos there. They're just
to run.
Alexandropoulos, Adi, thanks for mentioning it. Like him being back is huge as well. Like now we have an 8 on the bench. So like let's say, like knock on wood, either like Chiquinho or Horta, they get tired. Let's say you have someone. You have to like there. It was like there was moments there where it's like fuck, Ibora has to come in, and like now Heze needs to go up, and it's just it ruined the rhythm. So having someone who can play there is so big. So, and he's got a goal. He's feeling confident. It's huge.
I mean, they're in
I
the
love
B
this.
list, aren't they?
Who?
Wouldn't Papa
Yeah,
Canelos and wouldn't they be in the B
maybe.
list?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they would be. Yeah.
Because
I'm telling you guys,
Koutsidis was. That's why he
Mendilibar
came.
would put Richards before he put an 18-year-old Greek kid on
That's
the.
that's 100%. Yeah, that's true.
Question. Do not kill me. Nelson Abbey's not on the B list, right? Definitely
No,
not.
he's not in the list at all.
No.
That's another thing that we need to. Is Biancon healthy?
He's not on the list.
Is he not on the list?
He's not on the list.
No, he wasn't
Not
on the list.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that doesn't even matter. But
Yeah.
If a centre back gets injured, we've got Koutsidis.
Koutsidis.
would be
Right, we have
Koutsidis
Koutsidis
on the bench.
Yeah, Stefane Doy is suspended. Yes, he got a red card.
Yeah.
last game.
No, it's well, and you
But-
saw what Look at My Eyes said.
Also,
But
but also, guys, it has to be said. Do you think Pano Rezzo will do it again and make it 5 games in a row with a penalty in Europe?
No,
Will he do it?
Red's just gonna kill it.
Maybe the longest streak in Olympiacos history of giving penalties away by a defender. Like he's going for 5 in a row, baby. Like just
Retsos is ending Ollie Watkins's Euro 2024 hopes because Gareth Southgate will think to himself, I am taking both Cole Palmer, Ivan Toney, and Ollie Watkins can stay with Unai Emery at Villa Park. I got everything I need.
yeah.
I got Ivan Toney, I got Cole Palmer. Ollie who? Is that Retsos guy? Does he have a grandma that's from England? Does he have a grandma that's from the old smoke? No.
And
That
Laki's
sucks,
mentioned
man.
a point too. Like Rezzo's kind of shoved the dude in the face in the box for no
Yeah, he
reason today.
did.
It could have been a penalty, and it was just like they just played that on. I was we were watching the highlights after, and it was like that's
Honestly,
just shoved him in the face, and it was like, why? Like why? You know, he's
Why?
like 2 meters behind him, and he was just like, fuck it, let me cook, and just shoved the guy in the face, and it was just
Yeah.
like, okay, like.
yeah, but Vezzo like almost murdered somebody today with like a slide tackle, and then he commits a clear and obvious foul, and then that's when Lamia scored because he's an idiot and he's like screaming at the ref. The dude plays the ball in front of him, and he's still yelling at the ref while the ball's going by. Like he's we signed this idiot, Ruben Vezzo. Like every time I see his stupid name, we signed that moron. My God. Jesus.
But okay,
Christ.
When
going
does his
into
contract run out?
say again, Kosa.
When does his
Vezzo's like a
run out?
3-year deal.
It's a 3-year deal, man. Oh, great. So I want to ask you guys. So now we're in an hour. I guess like let's just wrap up and make some, kind of lineup. What is your guys' lineup going to England Thursday night?
What
The one we want, the one we want,
Yeah,
or the one
everyone
we
go and make their lineup. Korstak with a K.
Our lineup or what the coach will do?
You can say either one you want.
Okay.
Korstak with a K. What is your lineup? How would you go to the UK and line
Well,
up?
my favorite lineup would be, I guess, Zolakis in goal, Rodinei on the right, Richards on the left, Retsos and Carmo at center back, and then Horta as Chiquinho in midfield, and then up front, Fortunis on the right, Potenza on the other side, El Kabi up front. Yeah, I go for full conservative.
That's the lineup, Maccabi Tel Aviv lineup, except for Richards instead of Ortega.
Exactly. But it will be Ortega on the left. Like that's what the coach will do. I mean,
it will be.
that's what it'll be. I mean, and Costa, that's like the same as mine. I would do the same. You don't really have a choice for the front three. Like that's it.
I think
That's
the
all we
only, like, I don't know, do you change that or do you stick with
I
that?
think the only thing he says maybe is like this thing with Jovetic just works really well. I like
Yeah.
Jovetic. Like I'm gonna go roll with Jovetic, which I think would be something. So I think also there's no way Ortega doesn't start.
He's starting. There's no way he doesn't.
I think there's a big shout for Iborra too. Like,
Iborra,
you know,
yeah.
set pieces as well, man. Like an English team, like Lucadinha.
Yeah.
You can put a good forward into the box from a set piece. Douglas Luiz as well, good deliveries. They got some tall players like Konsa, Watkins. They're dangerous from set pieces.
What if you dropped someone like? What if you dropped, let's say, Podence and started? I don't know, like you started Iborra in his place and kind of really packed the midfield in there, and it's kind
What
of.
do you mean like that? That dude, that's not happening.
Hey,
We've
that's
never
what-
done that.
Like I've
Mendilibar's
never,
never-
like let's just say it's like I don't even know what it would be. It was like a diamonds or something in the midfield. Fortunis Alcabi up top,
What?
Chiquinho kind of. I have no idea how that would work, but yeah, there's not a lot to do here. Like
do you remember what Mitchell used to do when he played like Kasami on the right to pack the
Oh,
midfield?
like something like that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
but Mendilibar doesn't do that.
Yeah, imagine Alexandropoulos starts like almost like as a right midfielder winger hybrid, like Zeka did against Belgium. And
No.
you remember that Zeka scored that
Yeah.
goal? I think he played as like a right midfielder. It was like a bit weird, like something like that.
Not happening. That's not happening. Like we the sample that we've seen from Mendilibar, he does not change like at
It's
all.
crazy
Really?
how no
Except
with that
unpredictable.
4-4-2.
You might see 4-4-2. That's it, at best.
What if he did Iborra and Iborra's like kind of like an anchor, like a third central defender, but comes up a little more?
Like Katsuranis played in the Euro.
That's kind of how Ibora's been the last couple games.
Yeah,
when it
but like
comes
let's
in.
say you start Iborra instead of Podence or something, and Iborra plays like even deeper than Heze, like plays like you
That's-
play like a
that's-
3 or like let's just say a 5-3-2 or something like that. Like would he
Not-
do that? I don't.
No, he wouldn't do that. Like the most important part.
I'm just scared we're gonna get blown away. Like I can just see fucking Podence not tracking back and us eating
Yeah.
like 3 goals, and I'm just ready to
Oh,
cry.
yeah,
You know what I
that's-
mean? Like I just remember him pointing at the Fener player. He's like, "Oh, defend him!" And he's like, "You're the one supposed to be defending him. What the fuck is going on?" He's like pointing at him. He's like 15 meters back. It's like, oh my god, it was criminal. So.
I think you just like weather the storm. You stick with what's been working. You weather the storm. Second half, Jovetic comes on.
Or
You
just-
bring in
just-
Iborra to
just do
stabilize the
something crazy
midfield.
like
You
this.
know, fuck it.
Yeah, like I don't think Jovetic is starting, guys. That's like a disaster. Horta stays deeper,
God.
and
that-
he helps Podence out on the other side.
also, I
You see
really
how many
feel-
times he goes over there?
I feel for our
with
central
Podence.
defenders because I think they're like I think Rezos is quite good at defending like immobile Dzeko types, but like Ollie Watkins, he's gonna come tight, use his hands, and he's just gonna flip him. Like, dude, those type of English strikers are so good and they're used to this physical stuff. And Rezos thinks like he can play Jabuka or something, grab the shirt, and he's just gonna spin his ass and he's gone, man. Like you can see it, you know what I mean? Like he'll do that thing where he'll come tight, one touch, boom, spin him and go like Rezos, like so many strikers don't have the ability to pull that off, the speed or the technique. But this guy is, you know what I mean? Like this guy is fucking class. He is so fast. He has a good touch.
Big game for Carl.
Gerasimos is already getting his excuses for Rezos lined up. He's making them right now.
This guy is unreal with the excuses, man. This guy is unreal with the excuse for Rezos. I wish I could come up with so many excuses for him. What player has committed 4 or 5 penalties in a row in Europe? And still it's like, no, actually those 4 or 5 penalties were phantom and he was good. It's like,
I would like
Shout
to
out.
say
Patron Gerasimos.
I would like to say this though. I am very much looking forward to see what kind of what kind of duels we're going to see between Ezri Konsa and Ayub El Kabi, because Konsa is very good in the 1v1.
Yeah.
And I suppose El Kabi will be his man. Of course, there's Pau Torres as well, but I expect Konsa to be on El Kabi on this one. And also, like, you know, how will Fortunis and Podence fare against the two players like that? But obviously, those two will have to deal with the fullbacks mostly. But I guess we're going to see Konsa on El Kabi on this one. That's going to be, because you mentioned Dean and Rodine. I want to see El Kabi and what will happen between El Kabi and Konsa.
But Pau Torres, I feel like he's a player that you can hit the ball over and run at him. Like, he's good technically, passing, build up, like technique defending. But I think, like, if he's in a race shoulder to shoulder, like, I don't think that's his strength. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Pau Torres. He was at Villarreal, right, for a while. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, I think
like he's very good. Like, I think
so.
Similar. Maybe I'm wrong, but like similar to Inigo Martinez, like good technique, great passing,
like typical Spanish
typical
defender.
Spanish defender. But like once you go over the top, shoulder to shoulder race, it's like
well, like,
yeah. I think he's the target, right? If you're El Kabi, who's physical runner, you're like, let's get Pau Torres like uncomfortable and run. And kind of go shoulder to shoulder, like
it's almost a shame that you don't have Fran Navarro available for the Thursday game. Actually, listening to that,
yeah. Also, Vagelis says I don't have any trust in Mendilibar. Like, what is this comment? Vagelis.
I think you're getting trolled by Vagelis.
It's like not real. I love Mendilibar.
He also said he would play 3-5-2 if he were Mendilibar, and Mendilibar doesn't do 3-5-2.
No, I'm just trying to think because man, that lineup with Podence and Fortunis, man, the wings can get exposed. Like, I feel bad for Ortega and Rodine, because they get made to look like idiots when actually it's not their fault that they're defending two guys and then they have to choose one guy and they don't have a winger.
You saw that against Paok when Gelson Martins was on the same side as Rodine, and they did nothing.
Yeah,
because Gelson Martins was fucking tracking back.
Because he's a proper winger, so he knows when to track back. He knows, oh, I need to go with the fullback. I need to do this. It's just Podence, man. Like, you need to track back. Like, you need to fucking track back. Like, you cannot pull the lazy shit. We need you to track back, because if we're gonna pull this off, we just need so much commitment. We need so much running. And that game in Turkey, like, left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know about you guys. Just like lack of effort.
Yeah.
Didn't look like he was in it. Just
He was invisible.
He was invisible. Like, man,
Yep.
we're playing for a European semifinal, and you were the big star who went to the Premier League for big money, and you're getting pulled in the 55th minute because you can't fucking track back and you disappeared. Like, you need to show up. This is it for you. Like, this is. Like, are you that player that we sold to Wolves years ago and like step up in the big game, scored against Tottenham, done those things? Like, this is it, man. Like, this is the game, and I really hope he comes to play, and not just offensively, because we know how brilliant he is, like with his feet and 1-2s, getting in the box. But we need you to like get stuck in, right? That's my main thing going there. It's like we need commitment. And that goes for Fortunis too, who I think has been showing a lot of commitment tracking back the last few months. But I think physically,
he's done it a lot more.
But Fortunis on those knees and at his age, like, it is to do that for 90 minutes, it's not really possible for him anymore.
60 minutes,
65 minutes, but you need full commitment from this guy is like in his prime. Like, he is not being meant to be walking around the pitch and not supporting players. So
yeah, I'm with you with the tracking back, but like for me, what Podence did offensively today against Lamia, like we need to see that. We need to see him like kind of make those moves, take some more of those risks against, against Villa, because like that's the type, like we need him to do that. That's the type
like
of
a
player
moment of
that he
magic,
is. Not this nonsense he was doing against Addis, where it's like, what in God's name is going on here? Like, no, dude, you take a player on or two, deliver the ball inside. Present yourself, like sit out wide, catch those overhit crosses from Masuras every time, and do something with it. Like make good decisions. you need to do that stuff as well, because like, all right, if you're at least not going to track back, you better do something for me offensively. Unlike the waste of space you were at Fenerbahce and Addis.
Like,
we don't for that. So I'm with you.
There's going to be like a great away section there in Villa.
Yeah.
Our fans are so up for it. They're not going to stop singing. We need effort. If we're going to do this, like, we need effort. We need running. We need people to get stuck in, because we are not at, like, the value of this team. Like, no, I think Villa could go hand in hand with almost any team in Europe this year. Like, they're a very good team, as Costa said earlier. So we just have to commit everything and give our all. And if we do that and we lose, I don't really give a shit. But like, if I see Daniel Podence like pointing at players and pouting and not tracking back, I am gonna be a bit disappointed. But just commit. That's all we are asking. Like, we're commitment and effort for the club. So,
isn't Dimitris Kouimtsidis going to be there?
Hopefully,
yeah.
He's planning on it.
Well, go and say hello, guys, to all the wonderful away fans who are going to be there. Go look for Dimitris. Just letting you know, he doesn't sound like God when face to face.
No, there's no echo.
I don't want you to be disappointed. Don't want anyone to be disappointed.
Okay, guys. Well, on that note, is there anything else?
I think we'll see a better.
Go and get your merchandise, people.
I'll leave you guys to it. You guys still have man of the match. Coach is great to do it. At least Costa will do it. Podence was my man of the match at least today. So I think he'll play like this. I think he's going to step up against Aston Villa.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's just wrap it up, Adi.
Let's just wrap it up. Yeah, let's just wrap it up. I mean, Podence, and I give him an A as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then it looks like the fans had the exact same thoughts we did. 67% for Podence. So hour and 12 minutes in, guys. Don't forget, check merch, like and subscribe. There's over 400 people in here and another couple hundred that passed through before this. And last I checked, it was less than 40 likes. So please take 2 seconds, tap that like button. Subscribe if you want to continue to hear what's going on. There's some great content coming. We're going to try and do some pre-match with Villa, some Villa people during the week. So look out for that. Check out the merch. These hats are awesome. Lambro had a great idea for like the traveling hat. I think that's a fun thing we'll do on social media. Help us paint the world red and white. Get your merch, put it on, snap a pic wherever you are, share it with us. We'll throw it up on social media. So help us paint the world red and white. We love this. We love this community, and we love our team. We love Olympiacos. So anybody have anything else before we go ahead and get out of here?
No.
All right, boys.
We are okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for the love.
So thank you, everybody. This is Gate 7 International, by the fans, for the fans, and we'll see you later in the week.